Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve Hatherley in the studio. Hello, Steve.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Great to have you. So, what have you been learning these days in terms of Chinese language for sure?
The one I learned most recently was very simple. 香.
香.
香 means when you're tasting something good and you want to express I guess what would the English equivalent be like? Yum?
Well, this is a really good question because it's really hard to find an English equivalent because the character or word 香 in Chinese covers so much. It can be, it smells good in terms of a flower is with great fragrance. And then you can say, 这朵花很香. This flower smells really good. It can be food, like you would definitely know that Kung Pao chicken smells differently than a flower.
I had some Kung Pao chicken a couple of days ago.
Yet it's still 香 in Chinese. And it can go even further to describe the situation where, for example, someone is having food in a way that you want to try the food because this person is eating it with the facial expression, the speed of the spoon getting into their mouth so quickly. And it's like, this person is really enjoying it. And you want to say, 他吃得很香. So he's eating it like he's really enjoying it.
So 香 isn't a word that you can use alone. It has to be part of a longer sentence.
Yes. Unless someone is asking you, does this smell good? Does this taste good? And you can say, 香. Good. Great.
Yeah, okay.
In that way.
So if you're answering a question, then you can't just say 香. But if you're expressing it yourself, then it has to be part of a longer sentence.
Exactly.
So this can be with smells. This can be with
taste.
It can be with visuals.
No, not really.
But you said if I'm looking at somebody and it seems like they're really enjoying their meal,
it has to be their meal. So it's still related to the food. It's like you're saying this person is enjoying his food, but it's not about this person. It's about the food.
Okay, how about if I'm walking through the department store and I walk by a bakery and I see some delicious looking cakes and I want to say, in English, we would say, oh, wow, that looks good. Well, can I use 香?
You can.
Okay,
you can say,
so what would my sentence be there?
It can be, 这个面包看着很香. It looks tasty.
Oh, that's a very long sentence. It's so shorter in English. Why is it so long in Chinese?
Because it carries the meaning of this bread, 这个面包看起来 looks 很香, very tasty.
Next question then. In English, I can just say, oh, that looks good. That represents the cake, right? Or the bread or whatever. And it makes the sentence a lot shorter. Is there no way to shorten that? Or do I have to express the cake or the bread?
You can say 他 or 他们.
Okay.
Or 那个, that one.
Okay.
Because 他 and 他们 can both be persons or subjects, whereas 他那个, usually it's the subject.
Okay.
So it's, easier.
So 那个香.
那个, I understand your question now because in Chinese, we have to put a little bit more in
Context.
it. Yes, because it looks good. Have to put the look in it anyways.
Yeah.
So 看起来很香 or 看着很香. 那个看着很香. That's the shortest version I can think of.
Oh, that's the shortest one available. Okay, thanks, teacher. So that's what I learned most recently.
That is a good one. Actually, if you travel, by saying travel, I mean surfing the internet, browsing on the internet, you would come across a lot of different expressions teaching you the Chinese sentence or Chinese language because I think when it comes to the example 香, it's really easy to realize that different languages, you can't really match them one to one because they cover different areas.
Sure.
It's the same in English.
Yeah.
Maybe one English word, you cannot find an exact Chinese equivalent. So one thing that's easier or relatively convenient for Chinese learners and any language learners these days is the use of social media because previously we didn't have that many sources of information and previously you don't really come across a lot of nosy. By saying nosy, I mean warm-hearted netizens who are willing to answer your questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes they mess with you, but most occasions they would answer your questions and teach you the language.
Yeah, it's like having a few 100 million teachers available to you.
The only thing is some of them giving you wrong answers, and you have to be able to tell them apart.
Well, once your Chinese reaches a certain level, then maybe that's possible. But yeah, probably not so much in the beginning.
Yes, but still, social media, something that you can live with, you can't live without.
Yeah, we were talking about, not you and I, but some other people, we were talking about Gen Alpha recently, and these are the children of the millennial generation. And this is the first generation to grow up completely with social media a part of their lives, digital communication a part of their lives. Not like, wow, this is a cool new thing. No, for them, it's not a cool new thing. It's just a thing that is in the world, and there's no like wow factor to it. So social media for your generation and my generation, we lived without it, and then all of a sudden we're living with it. So we can see both sides of the coin. We can see why it's good. We can see why it's bad. We know what it's like not to have it, and we know what it's like to live with it.
Yes, but like you said, for the future generations, it's going to be an instant, a factor, not a wow factor, but a constant factor in their lives.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but I think for each different generations, there is always something that has always been in their life,
Sure.
yet something that their previous generations do not feel the same way.
Yeah,
so
of
maybe
course.
we can take it more relatively lightheartedly.
Yeah. And of course, Gen Alpha will have their wow moment too.
I wonder if it will be artificial persons or organs or uploading your conscious, live in the internet forever. That's not today's talking theme, but it can be in the future.
It's fun to think about, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. But today we are going to talk about social media in the way that will help you, master some key words and useful phrases that you might need when you're traveling or browsing on Chinese social media. And hopefully for our dear listeners, if you're interested in the Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. See, we are on a social media too. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. So, the key word here, social media in Chinese.
社交媒体.
Perfect! You know social media. So
Did I even get my tones right?
Actually, it's not that bad. To start with, most of the words are in their right tones, which is good. Congrats. And secondly, the thing with Chinese language that we've talked about is that when the words is longer or the expression is longer, it's easier for us, as in Chinese native speakers, to identify what it is. So if you say 香, people would still confuse a little bit because with your face, they would be thinking maybe you're talking about 想, you're talking about thinking, or 像, similar. See, the sounds, the pronunciations are really close to each other.
But if the word has more syllables in it, then those syllables will tell you what the word is.
Exactly.
Even if your tones are off just slightly.
Yes.
I got it.
So here, 社交媒体, precisely 社, that's the fourth tone. 交, that's the first tone. So 社is 社会, so society. 交流 or 交往, that'll be communicating or get together with. So if you're in a society and you're communicating with others, then you're socializing with them. So 社交, and 媒体 is media. So literally social media. 社交媒体.
Social media includes a lot of different types of things as well. There's a lot of different things that you can either post, repost, like,
yeah,
right? There's
so many.
there's video, so there's a lot of vocabulary to be learned here today.
Yeah, so which one do you want to know the most?
Well, let's start with like, because I think that's something that's across Chinese social media, Western social media. If somebody posts something, then you want to, maybe not want to, but oftentimes people will like it.
With like, actually, there are different ways of saying it because for different social media platforms, they actually have different words for it. But for Chinese people, we understand them. And currently, the most common one would be 点赞.
点赞.
This is actually a good one because like can definitely be translated as 喜欢.
喜欢.
It's literally like. So 我喜欢吃饭. I like eating. So 喜欢. So 喜 is happy. 欢 also happy. So if something makes you happy, you like it. That's my way of remembering it.
Okay.
So 喜欢. And in some social media platforms, besides the little heart or the little thumb up sign, you have 喜欢, and you can click on it. And there's also 不喜欢. So 不喜欢,
I don't like
it. So yeah, 喜欢 works. Yet 点赞 is a relatively more sophisticated one in a way because 点 carries the meaning of click or point, and 赞 means good. So I clicked it to show that I think it's good. At the same time, 赞 also carries the meaning of 赞美, or it's in the word of 赞美. 赞美 means praise. So I'm clicking it to show my approve of it. So this word 点赞 carries both the connotation of the verb as well as the noun. So it's a little more sophisticated.
But these two words, 喜欢 and 点赞, are not interchangeable, right?
They are.
They are. Wait, so if I say 我喜欢米饭,
Oh, I know. Okay, so
我点赞米饭.
to start with, people understand you if you say that. Yet people would find you someone who's been in a toxic environment of internet for too long that you're using internet slang in everyday language.
Mi fan is rice, by the way, for those who don't know. So, yeah. So
what I'm saying here is that in the context of like something on the internet, they are interchangeable. Yet in everyday life, they're not.
Gotcha. Okay, how about comment?
Comment is easy. Comment would be 评论.
评论.
Yes, 评 and 论. 评 actually carries the meaning of commenting on something, and 论means you're using a relatively larger pair of graph to express your idea. For example, 论文, so article expressing your opinion, and opinion piece would be 评论. So 评论, comment. You can use 评论 in your everyday life as well.
Okay, let's see if I can combine what I've learned here. How would I express good or positive?
正能量, positive energy. 正 means positive, and 能量 is energy, but it's talking about the kind of strength this content would give you.
我喜欢评论正能量.
You're talking about you like to give a comment that is positive.
Right.
我喜欢正能量的评论, but that actually means I like those kind of comments that are positive.
Yeah.
But if you
I
want to
like
say
positive comments.
Yes, I like positive comments.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So, like, if I post something or if I do a show and then I want to say to the audience, like, please send your comments, 我喜欢评论正能量.
Okay, so to start with, 我喜欢正能量的评论. You have to put 正能量 in front of 评论 because 正能量 is the adjective.
Okay.
Adjectives goes before nouns in the Chinese language, always.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, I thought what you wanted to say is, when I'm watching videos, I always give positive comments. I like to give positive comments because that would be a little bit different.
Oh, that would change it?
That would change it because 我喜欢正能量的评论 actually means I like those positive comments that other people left. But if you want to say I'd like to leave positive comments, it's more like 我喜欢留下正能量的评论. So, or 写下, I like to leave or like to write positive comments.
I see.
A
Okay.
little bit different, but yes, you have combined things that you've learned. 喜欢 would be like, or 点赞, that is precisely the kind of word we use in the world of internet or the world of social media, 社交媒体, and then 评论 comment. And another very common behavior would be repost. Do you know how to say repost?
Repost would be 转发.
Perfect. So 转 carries the meaning of turn. So you're turning it from his post to your post. And 发 would be post. So I'm turning it to my page and posting it.
Got it. I never repost anything, by the way. Do you repost things?
Sometimes, yes.
Do you like things a lot? Like if you're scrolling through your friends' pages or whatever, are you the like?
No, I'm not.
You're not the, what do they call that? Death scrolling, but do they call it death liking? I don't know what that.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think that's what they call it.
I think you can call it a rubber stamp.
Yeah, that too. No, I'm not one of those people.
No,
either.
me neither. I only like the really, really worth liking kind of posts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What about follow?
Follow is also good. Follow would be 关注 in Chinese. This one is a bit different because in Chinese, 关注
关注.
关注 actually means I am paying attention.
Oh.
Right? So,
okay.
关注 carries the meaning of I'm looking at you. Or this is something that I am closely following. So, you can, in Chinese, 关注 a person. You can also 关注 a 事件. So, of something happening, a news story, a news event. So 关注 is, I think, a little bit different than the meaning in English, following.
Yeah, by the sounds of things, it's different. This sounds like a figurative follow.
Looking at.
Yeah,
yes.
Rather than a literal one.
Because I think it's because follow, if you directly translate follow to Chinese, it's
someone walking behind you in the same direction.
Yes, it's a little bit weird in the Chinese language system.
Yeah, and that's why this is a little confusing in English. But in Chinese, you'd express this differently.
Yes, and there is a word I want to teach you, but I want to know whether or not it's a thing in English social media world as well. Because in Chinese social media, one thing that's very important for us would be the trending topics or something that is really frequently searched, very much searched by a lot of people. We call it 热搜.
热搜.
热 is hot. 搜索, that's search. So hotly searched.
Hot search, yeah.
Hot search.
Yeah.
热搜. It's a thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because in Chinese, it's really, really a thing. We also even have 热搜 index, 热搜ranks.
Yeah. And they rise to the top and then they fall down.
And if, for example, if you're a celebrity or if you're a really good movie, for example, these days for the year 2025, one of the hottest topic would definitely be 哪吒, the movie. The movie and the movie. An indicator of the movie being really hot is not only the box office, but how much or how many 热搜 it has got.
People are talking about it on social media.
Yes, and also it has different hot search, let's say, sentences. So people are saying this is really good. It's becoming the number one. It's garnering so much box office. It's just like, for example, if this movie can get more than 20 热搜, then it's really, really popular, right? It's that connotation.
I understand. Yeah, a lot of media outlets will have their top searches or something like that, and they'll rank them 1 to 10, maybe.
Yes, so 热搜, definitely a thing.
What about like your friends? Does it have a different word? Because we have the same word in English, right? You said that follow is a little bit different in Chinese, wherein in English, you can mean literally following someone down the street or on social media. But we say in English a lot like Facebook friends or social media friends. It doesn't necessarily mean they are your friend. Sometimes you won't even know who they are. Do you have a word for that?
It's the same here in China. We use the word friend for both real friends and online friends.
So that would be
好友.
好友.
But I think there is this slight difference here because in Chinese we say 朋友. 我朋友, my friend. So both 朋 and 友 carries the meaning of friend. And one little trivia, 朋 and 友 actually have different connotation. One means the kind of companion you share. For example, if you're together for this section of your life road and you accompany each other, you're 朋. Whereas 友 is the kind of people you share same aspiration in your hearts. So together, these are like people accompany you, your friends. Anyways, 朋友 would definitely be friends. Whereas 好友, 好 is good. 友 is friend, 好友 good friend, you would assume 好友 is better friends than friends. But actually now, since we're using 好友 so much for the reference of friends online, Facebook friends, WeChat friends. Now, if you think about 好友, your first reaction would be, this is your online friend.
Oh, I see. So you'd have to express it a little bit stronger if you wanted to let someone know they were really your friend.
And also 好友, you can say 微信好友, that's WeChat friend. You can say 抖音好友, TikTok friend. So, yeah.
Different types of social media friends.
Yes. And since we're talking about friends, so your friends or your online friends would be the kind of people that you follow and they follow you back, and you can talk to each other, like through direct message or something. Oh, by the way, direct message in Chinese would be 私信.
私信.
Yes, because direct in Chinese actually is 直接, so that's direct, the translation of direct, 直接.
直接.
Yes. However, 私信 in Chinese is private message. So 信 is info or message.
Like a DM.
Yes, a DM. That is a private message, saying that it's the message that only my WeChat friend and I can see instead of in a group. So 私信, and 私信 again is a internet slang. It's something that you only use for social media platforms or online situations, online forums or something. And the reason I'm talking about it is because if we're talking about the kind of online friends that you can talk to, then that's your friend. But if you follow them and they're not following you back, then you are their fan.
Oh, okay.
And fan in Chinese.
Yes, I was just about to ask, what's fan then?
Yes, fan in Chinese is 粉丝.
粉丝.
Because 粉丝 sounds like fans.
Fence. Sounds like fence. Like F-E-N-C-E fence?
No, F-A-N-S fence.
Oh, sounds like fans. Yeah, fence. It sounds exactly like that.
Right?
So is that borrowed from English then?
Yes.
That's interesting because
It is.
this is what I've noticed about Chinese is, for example, if you learn to speak Korean, then you'll notice a lot of words that are borrowed from English, or if not English, other languages too. But in Chinese, I was having a hard time finding examples of words that were borrowed from English or maybe other languages. I know I'm just starting to learn now, but this is one of the first ones that I've heard of.
Actually, there are many, but I don't know if it's really, really many in your opinion. But fans or 粉丝 definitely is one. And also, for example, 巧克力, chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah.
And also 汉堡包, hamburger.
Oh.
See, these ones they make sense. They're Western food, English names coming to Chinese word transliteration. Makes perfect sense. And 粉丝 is one of those.
Do you have a lot of fans?
I think they're my online friends. But yeah,
Your 好友.
I have some 好友, online 好友.
Online, by the way. How do you say online?
线上.
线上.
线 is a line, and 上 is on. Literally online. 线上. So line on. Because we have 线上 and 线下. So you can understand it as there is a line, you can get on it, you can get off it. So offline, 线下.
So 线上好友.
线上好友, online friends.
Online friends.
Any other words you'd like to know, or that's enough for one episode?
I think that's enough for one episode.
Makes a lot of sense. So now I think I want to also give you one sentence.
Okay.
That is, I'd like to share this.
I'd like to share this, okay?
Take a guess. How do you say that?
我想
Share. How to say share?
分享.
Literally, share is 分享. And in Chinese, you can use it in real world as well. You can say to your, for example,
About food.
2-year-olds, saying, you need to learn to share. 你需要学会分享. So as you can see, 分享 can be a verb. It can also be used as a noun.
我想分享
这个.
这个.
Yes, I'd like to share this.
我想分享这个.
Yes, 我想分享这个. Of course, you can 分享 a video, that'll be a 视频. You can 分享 a picture, 图片. You can simply 分享 the post, 帖子. So these are the things that you can share.
Okay. 我想分享这个.
Yes, I'd like to share this.
And can I use that sentence if you are eating something delicious and I want some?
You can.
Can I look at your food and say 我想分享这个?
You actually can. It's a
It means
little...
like, give me some.
Yes. If you want to be more polite, I'm not really sure if asking for food, well, it can be. And also if it's in a kindergarten, you can say, 可以和我分享吗?可以 means whether or not can you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Will you share that with me?
Yes, because I want to share that with you. I think the reason is that when I'm speaking Chinese, using the word 分享, I'm thinking about the action that is relatively from the sharer side instead of the receiver side. So I'm asking you to share that with me. I cannot really share something that I do not have.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So for me, when you say 我可以分享这个吗? It makes me feel a little bit weird.
Yeah, because you
down in my heart, I realize you can only share something that's yours.
Yeah, but if I say this,
people understand.
People will understand.
Yes.
Okay, good.
分享 share. Okay. At the same time, do you know what are the most common and liked social media platforms in China? Because you've been here long enough.
小红书
Of course.
is RedNote.
RedNote.
And that became huge news, of
Yes,
course,
yes.
when all the American social media users from TikTok suddenly joined RedNote. That was so heartwarming.
I
It
know.
was really lovely to see. And I hope that that continues. I can totally see that being a very short-lived kind of fun little moment, but it would be really cool if it continued on and some real friendships came from that. So there's 小红书, there's 抖音,
Douyin. That's the Chinese equivalent of TikTok.
and Weibo.
Oh, yes. That's also very, very popular. When I was talking about 热搜, the hot search topics, I was actually thinking about Weibo. Like you said, many different social media platforms would publish their hot searched topics. Yet, I feel like Weibo is definitely one of the most popular ones that people would all recognize or something.
But for me, the one that I use the most, and I don't know if this is considered social media or not, but Weixin.
Definitely WeChat. Yeah, it is social media. It's just, I think this, when it comes to social media platforms, definitely different organizations, different platforms have different angle. They have their genre. Weixin is relatively the kind of social activity you share with your real life friends.
Yeah, the people that you really know.
At least you have seen them, or at least you have talked to them through a friend that you know about.
And the reason is because if you are Weixin 好友
好友
with someone, Weixin friends with someone, that means that you have both agreed to be friends with each other. And then once you both agree, then you have the ability to call.
You cannot really
other.
关注 anything on Weixin.
Yeah.
Or you can 关注 a account, but you cannot 关注 a person. So yeah, there's that different. But definitely there's WeChat moment, and on WeChat moment and WeChat video, you'll be able to, watch some videos or some posts. But when you really want to watch some cool and fun videos created by other netizens or strangers online, you go to Douyin or 小红书.
This is I don't think this is criticism. It's just an observation from these different apps that I'm seeing. So Weixin is primarily, in terms of contacts. Oh, by the way, how do you say contacts?
联系 or 联系人. So contact, the verb would be 联系, and your contacts, like the person you contact, would be 联系人. So 联系 person, 联系人.
联系人.
Yes.
Yeah, so Weixin is basically, those are the people that, your contacts are the people that are in your life, your friends, or at least you know them.
Yes.
You might contact them sometime. It's like a phone book,
Yes,
kind of, right?
yes, kind of.
But Weixin also has the social media side of things with WeChat moments, and if you follow a certain brand or business, you'll get their updates as well. So it's not just, your contacts for contacting people. Then I see other apps, for example, map applications. And map applications are now somehow trying to move into the lifestyle categories.
Yes, because if you know the location of a restaurant you want to visit and you post something, and you might be able to help those who want to visit that restaurant, those strangers that you don't really know. So I think they have their reasons.
Yeah, they do. But what I wanted to say was that an app for something is never just for one thing.
Yes.
Right? And that's my observation so far, is that these apps in China, they can do multiple things. And they all can do multiple things.
And I think that is why we say it's something that we cannot live without.
Right.
And yeah, for those Generation Alpha people, maybe it's not a bad thing after all.
Yeah, right.
That brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Steve Hatherley here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings. And maybe if you really like it, you can also share a post on your favorite social media platform.
And also send us a nice comment, because 我喜欢正能量的评论.
Yay! Great job! See you
Wow, I learned a whole sentence today.
Yes. And hopefully that will be the goal of all future episodes.
Right.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.